How's it going, everyone? I hope you all are having a fantastic day. In today's video, we're gonna be comparing the Canon 18 to 135 f3.5 to f5.6 versus the Sigma 18 to 35. Now, the reason that I'm comparing these two is because the Canon 70D and 80D both come with the Canon 18 to 135 kit lens, and most people with an APS-C camera would like to upgrade to the Sigma 18 to 35, the best lens for APS-C cameras. First things first, we're gonna start off by getting the specifications out of the way. Starting off with the Sigma 18 to 35 f1.8. It has a constant aperture throughout the entire zoom range of an f1.8. It weighs about 810 grams, which is a bit on the heavier side, and again, when I combine this with my Canon 80D, it is a very heavy lens. As for the Canon kit lens, it has a zoom range from 18 to 135, which is a lot more than the 18 to 35 on the Sigma. The major con that it has is the f3.5, which goes down to a 5.6 when you zoom in, and it weighs around 515 grams, which is significantly less than the Sigma. I wanted to give the Sigma a win for its constant f1.8 aperture in this round, but I'm gonna call this a tie because for some people the weight of the lens may be a deal breaker, and I'm gonna leave it up to you to decide depending on your usage. Alright, off to round 2, we're gonna talk about the build quality. Now, both of these lenses are sturdy and they feel bulky, they're big, they're heavy lenses, but the Sigma just feels a lot more premium. It just feels well built. It feels like a lens. It's built like a tank. It's beefy, like one of those lenses that you have that for how long you have it, you know it's gonna hold up, you know it's gonna be sturdy, and you know it's not gonna break because it's a big and it's a beefy lens. Zoom and focus rings are amazing on both lenses, although on the Sigma the focus ring just feels that much more precise and it just feels snappier. On the Canon kit lens, it feels a bit loose as for the focus ring, but for the zoom rings, they're both amazing and they're both awesome. No complaints there. So for this round, the Sigma wins the build quality. The third round, we're gonna talk about autofocus testing. Now, Canon has been known with their incredible dual pixel autofocus system. When combined with a Canon lens, the autofocus is just that quick. Now, will the Sigma hold up to that? We're gonna find out in these tests. Now, starting off with the Sigma lens, you can feel you're not gonna see any hunting at all when shooting video, and I am using the touchscreen to manually set the focus from near to far. There's no hunting at all, like you click, it's almost instant, there's just a little bit of delay, but there's no hunting and it's very quick. Now for the Canon kit lens, it's pretty much the same as the Sigma, it's just that little bit faster, just a touch. So for this round, I'm gonna give the autofocus win for the Canon, not because it's just a bit faster, but because the autofocus system is silent, zero, you don't hear anything. For the Sigma, it's not annoying, it's not something that's gonna jump in your face like, oh, I'm focusing, but you're gonna hear it, it's there, it's noticeable. And especially if you're using a shotgun mic, that sometimes can be a bit of a problem. Alright, moving on to round 4, the bokeh test. Obviously, the constant f1.8 aperture on the Sigma will give you a much blurrier background and there's gonna be a lot of bokeh. But I just wanted to show you guys the difference, the huge difference that it makes for moving from f3.5 to an f1.8 lens. So for the bokeh test, the Sigma is clearly the winner. Now moving on to round 5, the video quality / sharpness test. I'm gonna use both of these lenses to record the same thing, the same position, measured with the same exact settings. You can easily tell that the Sigma just has that richer color, better overall sharpness. Like, this lens is crazy sharp. I mostly shoot at f1.8 and even wide open the lens is insane sharp. Not saying that the Canon 18 to 135 is trash. It has great color accuracy, color science, it's a Canon lens after all, but it's just that the Sigma is much sharper, and combining that with a shallow depth of field, a blurrier background, your videos are just gonna look that much more professional when using the Sigma. Moving on to the image stabilization test. Now the Sigma 1835 does not have an image stabilization built in. It is not a huge deal breaker for most people because it's relatively a wide angle lens. As for the Canon 18-135, it does have built-in image stabilization. And I'm gonna use both of these lenses handheld and we're gonna see if there's a huge difference between the Canon and the Sigma. Now I'm shooting at 18mm for both lenses and you can kind of tell that the Sigma does have a little bit more micro jitters, if you will. And for me personally, it's not a deal breaker because I mostly shoot on a gimbal and image stabilization on a lens does not bother me at all. Unless you have like super steady hands, the Sigma will be fine, but otherwise the image stabilization is, especially on the Canon lens, it is just very helpful. So for this round, the Canon wins. Now to conclude this video, should you upgrade from your Canon kit lens to the Sigma 18-35? The short and the long answer is gonna be yes. Now there are only two scenarios where you would not want the Sigma 18-35. Number one is if you you want to go light, you don't want heavier setups, you don't want bigger lenses. Number two is if image stabilization is a deal breaker for you. Other than that, I think this lens is the perfect lens for APS-C cameras. It has a constant f1.8 aperture. It is the sharpest lens, without a doubt, the sharpest lens that I have ever used. And it is heavy. It is actually really heavy. Even without a gimbal, just the camera and the lens is much heavier than the kit lens. I'm willing to make that compromise for the better video quality and sharpness. As for the Canon kit lens, it has a wider zoom range from 18-135, has image stabilization, it is lighter, although it is not as sharp as the Sigma, and it has a maximum aperture of f3.5. So that pretty much concludes today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video comparing the Sigma 18-35 to the Canon kit lens. Let me know down below what lens do you use and what do you think of the Sigma 18-35. And as always guys, thank you so much for watching. Smash that like button down below, subscribe for more future uploads, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.